The castle was alive with celebration. Golden banners hung from the marble columns, and fragrant roses lined the courtyards. Laughter echoed through the halls, and the air was filled with music, light, and the glitter of 1,000 candles. Nerina stood at the edge of it all, silent and unseen, like a ghost wrapped in silk. She wore a gown of silver blue, the finest the palace seamstresses had crafted, and though her beauty turned heads, her heart felt heavier than the stone walls surrounding her. She watched as the prince, her prince, stood at the center of the grand hall, his smile radiant, his eyes glowing with happiness. But not because of her. At his side stood another, a princess from a distant kingdom, the one believed to have saved him from the storm. Her golden hair shimmered like the sun, and her voice, sweet and musical, charmed the gathered nobility. The announcement came with a flourish of trumpets. Prince Alaric is to wed Princess Evelina, the royal herald proclaimed. The crowd erupted into cheers. Nobles clapped, servants threw handfuls of flower petals into the air, and musicians struck up a lively tune. Nerina felt the ground sway beneath her. She gripped the edge of a column for balance, her bare feet burning with every step she had taken on this land of dreams. Every moment of pain, every sacrifice she had made, had been for him. And he didn't even know. She remembered the night she had pulled him from the sea, the way his heart had fluttered weakly under her hand, the way he had smiled in his sleep when she sang to him. Those memories had been her light, her hope. They had led her here. But now, they seemed as distant as the stars above. The prince turned toward Nerina, his gaze softening. He still cared for her. She could see it in his eyes. She was his dear friend, the mysterious girl who had appeared after the storm, wordless but filled with wonder. He had taken her in, given her shelter, protected her. But love belonged to another. Tears stung her eyes, but she blinked them away. She had made a choice when she visited the Sea Witch. She had given up her voice, her song, her soul's truest expression, all for this chance. For him. And now she would watch him marry someone else. "Come, Nerina," Lady Morel, one of the Queen's ladies-in-waiting, said gently, mistaking Nerina's sorrow for shyness. "Tonight is a night for joy. Let us celebrate." Nerina forced a smile and followed, her heart breaking with every step. Throughout the night, she moved through the festivities like a shadow. She danced when invited, though every twirl felt like a knife in her chest. She smiled when spoken to, though she could not answer. She watched as prince and princess danced together under the glow of crystal chandeliers, their steps graceful and sure. How easy it was for them, Nerina thought bitterly. They belonged to the same world. She was merely a wanderer, a dreamer who had dared too much. As the night wore on, she slipped away from the celebration. Barefoot and silent, she made her way to the gardens beyond the palace walls. The cool air kissed her skin, and the scent of blooming jasmine wrapped around her like a memory. She wandered to the edge of the reflecting pool, where the stars shimmered on the surface like scattered diamonds. She knelt there, touching the water gently. Her reflection stared back at her, familiar yet foreign. A girl caught between worlds. A heart trapped between dreams and reality. Is this what love costs? She wondered silently. To give everything and receive nothing. Behind her, footsteps approached. She turned to see Prince's cloak flowing behind him, his brow furrowed in concern. "Nerina," he said softly. She couldn't answer. She could only look at him, every fiber of her being aching with the words she longed to say. "I don't know who you truly are," he said, crouching beside her, "but I am grateful to you. You appeared when I needed hope most. You have been a light in dark times." She closed her eyes, fighting back tears. If only I could remember," he murmured. "The one who saved me. I wish I knew who she was. Perhaps everything would be different." Nerina opened her mouth, desperate to cry out, to tell him, "It was me. I saved you. I loved you before you even knew my name." But no sound came. Only silence. He sighed and rose to his feet. "Princess is good and kind. She will be a fine queen." He reached out and touched her shoulder gently, a gesture of friendship, not love. "Thank you, Nerina," he said, "for everything." Then he turned and walked back toward the castle, leaving her alone with the night. Nerina watched him go until he disappeared among the rose gardens. She sank to her knees, the silk of her dress pooling around her like a forgotten tide. Above her, the stars spun in their eternal dance. Beneath her, the earth was cold and unyielding. And in her heart, something fragile crumbled into dust. Still, she did not weep. She had no voice to scream, no words to curse fate. Only silence. And in the silence, a decision began to form, a tiny ember of resolve. If she could not have love, she would have freedom, even if it cost her everything.